and gentlemen, and welcome back to pretending that Zoom comedy is as good as doing it live. Concentrate, presented from a small room in Croydon by a man in a hat, a black t-shirt, and no trousers. This is the Comedy Concentrate. Why? To keep comedy going. Why? Because it's fun to give comedians the opportunity to write some material and perform it. We're only doing 1 minute each, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Comedy Concentrate. Why 1 minute? Because 5 minutes from 10 comedians on Zoom would be shit. But 1 minute's fun. It could be fast. It could be fun. It's going to be furious. It's going to be wonderful. If you're watching on YouTube, we need you to join in. We can't hear you. We can't see you, but we know you're there. So make some noise. Bang on the walls. Wake up the neighbors. Make some noise. You can do that on YouTube. You can also send us some messages. All the comedians that are performing, they want to know what you think. That the only people they've got to perform to are their flatmates, their husbands, their wives, their mums, their dads, and their dogs. They need your feedback. Let them know what you think. Join in. That's how it works. Comedians, let's have a look at them. Shirley, can we bring them all up? Let's have a look at what we've got tonight. Give us a wave for all the comedians. There they are. Look at them all giving us a wave. That's it. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to start, and this is how we're going to start. We're going to start through the medium of clapping. We're going to get all the comedians to start clapping and cheer. We can cheer. We can cheer. We can cheer, guys. Okay, yes, you want. Clap till your hands are blurry. You're watching on YouTube. Wake up your neighbours. Come on, I'm going for it on my own. In a room, you can do it too. Come on. Let's welcome to the stage. They're fabulous. Mr. Phil Henderson.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Now, I drink my coffee black, and you're probably wondering, Phil, is that because of some kind of childhood trauma? Yes, it is. Thank you for asking. Now, when I was a kid, and this didn't just affect me, it affected other people too, but when I was a kid, in the village that I grew up in, a lot of the mothers and housewives, they had affairs. They had affairs with the local milkman. Not my mum, though, not my mum, because my dad was the milkman, you see. The thing that always bothered me about it the most was I could never work out how early were these women's husbands leaving for work. So strange. They must have been out the door at about 4 a.m. presumably on a breakfast of dry cereal. It wasn't until years later that I realised they were all actually married to other milkmen, and there was just like a rotation system they'd organised. It's one of the only things that keeps the milk delivery industry afloat. Thank you for those of you who got that bit. If you do know anybody, particularly in this day and age, who still gets milk delivered, and yes, I include your grandmother in that, then they're a slut. Thank you.
Give him a round of applause. Send him some emojis. Let him know what he needs to. He needs to know what you. He doesn't know what you. We're hearing great jokes, but he doesn't know whether you send him some emojis. Phil, bit of feedback for you, if you don't mind. I slightly misheard, and when you said women in your village when you were a child were having affairs. I thought you said a fez, a red hat, Tommy Cooper style. I thought women in your village were having a fez. And I like hats, so I thought that was great. There's a village that I want to visit. Other than that was great. Give him a round of applause. That was Phil Henderson. Give the applause, guys. Comedians, clap till your hands are blurry. Come on, Palin. You can do it. Let me see. Michael, come on, let's see us. That's it. Let's welcome to the screen. It's Saoirse Smith, guys. Here she is. That's her.
Hi guys, my name is Saoirse, and for those who can't tell right now, I'm a sit-down comedian. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but I realised the irony of that. My wheelchair is my own. I didn't rob it off the one down the road, I swear. But when people first meet me, right, in the wheelchair, right, you sort of have two reactions, and this first reaction is my favourite. You all seem to lean in when you first meet me, and you all begin to whisper, with your popcorn. And you're like, what happened? And I'm just like, oh, I was born this way. And the look of disappointment on your faces, lads. And I'm just like, what just want an origin story? I'm not Batman. So I've gotten a bit more creative. When people ask me what happened, I said, oh, a shark attack. Really? No, but it sounds more interesting. So I've had some good news during lockdown, which is great. I actually took my very first steps, believe it or not, which is great. Thank you. I now walk like a drunken toddler. That only took 29 years. That's me.
Yay! Comedians, give her a clap if you're watching on YouTube. Send us some thumbs up, send us some love hearts, let her know. She needs to know what you're thinking. Thank you so much. At our pub, in the venue, on the right-hand side, we've got a disabled toilet, right? And basically, in pubs, one of the things that happens in pubs, people get drunk, right? And the next morning, we find they've left things behind. They leave their coats, their scarves, their wallets, their handbags. One morning, and this is absolutely the truth, I was tidying up and I opened up the disabled toilet and in there was a wheelchair. That's the absolute truth.
It's true.
The absolute truth. Of all the things, really pissed, forgot they couldn't walk, went home. Yay! Having chance. That's the place to be. That's just to give her a round of applause. Fantastic. Let's get another one. Start. Come on. Hey, guys. Come on. Get some exercise. Start clapping. Come on. Let's do it. Clap. Look. Till it's blurring. Do it as fast as you can. Cheering as loud as you can. Wake up those bloody neighbours. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the screen. The next that is Maddie McMahon. Come on, Maddie. Down to you now.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I'm Maddie. Just before we started this Zoom call, I realised I was doing this, which I do almost before every call at the moment that I have on Zoom. The reason is that I have a back injury, but I realise it makes me look like a very sort of like really underwhelmingly threatening 1950s middle class boxer that's just going to kind of like punch you like this. Yeah, hi, I'm Maddie. It's my birthday this week.
Ooh.
I'm 35. I know. I look exactly almost 35. I'm at that point where me and my partner have been together for nearly 11 years. I know. Which is a point in your relationship where essentially you've run out of new stuff to do together. We are, all the options at this point, you're kind of at the end of the line train-wise. The options are get married or probably anal. Our friend Madav came to the rescue. Our friend Madav gave us his old PS3. So now we can put off the marriage and the anal, which is handy because the PS3 comes with a load of games and was completely free. And anal, while free, lube isn't. And I'm stingy, but I'm not. That's me.
Yay! Come on, that's Maddie McMahon. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what all you're gonna do is press those buttons and let her know what you think. Come on. That was Maddie. What do you think of Maddie? Let her know what you think. That's all I need from you. Maddie McMahon, ladies and gentlemen. Next one, I'll start the clapping, make some noise. Let's definitely welcome to the stage. 100% welcome to the stage. Let's not go to the end of the show and forget him. It's Michael Clammer.
Thank you very much, everyone. So on Friday, I turned 33 years old. And the interesting thing about turning 33 is people come up to you and they say, 33 is a really good age. That was the age that Jesus was. And I suppose I can work out that there's good news and bad news about it. I guess the good news is I can kind of convince myself that me and the J-Man have a lot in common, right? Jesus wore flip-flops. I wear flip-flops. Jesus hung out with lepers and loan sharks. I hang out with lepers and loan sharks. In the Bible, there was the burning bush. In Australia, there's huge bushfires. We've got a lot in common. The same. But the bad news actually is that, I don't know if you've read the Bible, but when Jesus turns 33, it turns out that he suffers a horrible, gruesome death. It's called a crucifixion. So people are actually kind of communicating to me, hey, you're going to die by the time it's Easter, right? So if I die in Easter, you know who to blame. It's my Jewish best mate. He dobbed me into the cops. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yay! Michael! Give him a round of applause. Let me know what you think. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know what you think. Michael and Maddie, you both mentioned birthdays during the lockdown. Not the lockdown, after the first lockdown, during the second bit where we could do some stuff but not all of it. I attended a few birthdays and saw a few birthdays occurring in restaurants, and they bring the cake out, and we used to blow the candles out. You know, even as children, 20 children blowing the candles out. And notice that now what happens is people just flap their hands around like this until the candles go out because they're spreading the virus, and that made sense. And then we were talking about, and Shirley said, but wasn't it always disgusting that we did that? Blowing out candles.
Yeah, it is now you think of it.
Basically, it's always been disgusting. One person spits all over the cake and then you throw it out. Nothing to do with COVID. That's always been awful. What a dirty nation. Ladies and gentlemen, on the words dirty nation, I'm going to get the next act on. I don't know, not the greatest of introduction. Good. I in a little bit beforehand because that's not a good way to, because this is all about supporting comedians. It's all about clapping and cheering and shouting and whooping and laughing. Come on, comedians, show them how to do it. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join in as well. Charlie's doing it, Sakisa's doing it, Alan's doing it, Stephen's doing it. Let's welcome the next act. Please make some noise as we welcome to the stage Dalia Masood!
Hi everyone. My parents decided that the best way not to have to parent me was to treat me like an adult. So to them, 4-year-old me was just an underachieving lawyer. and then I became one. I was more confident as a lawyer then than I am now, because when I finally qualified, my parents proudly boasted to the Bengali community that I was soliciting now. Of course, you know, everyone wants help then. I'm like everyone's property. Everyone's approaching me. One uncle approached saying, strictly without prejudice, that means don't tell your auntie, can you deliver me a Russian boy? So people seek my advice on all sorts of matters as if I'm like the voice of reason at a tea party. One auntie approached me and said, please, off the record, can you help me with this document? Sure, I'll have a look. Okay, this is instructions for your piles cream. He said, yes, and apparently my parents told them that my areas of practice are now the anal code too. Thank you.
Yay! Come on, give a round of applause if you're on your house, on your own. Give it. If you're watching on YouTube, send her a message. Let her know what you think. Give us some feedback. That was Celia. Next up, ladies and gentlemen. I was just pretending I froze. I didn't really, Shirley. It's fine. It's fine. I was just pretending. Shirley said, no, it's fine. Let's welcome the next act. Please put your hands together. Start the clapping as we welcome to the stage the amazing Palan. Come on, Palan. What you got for us? Come on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I must tell you this. The most exciting thing happened to me recently. Yeah, I heard the almighty cheer coming from downstairs. You know, they were shouting, Palan, go, Palan. I was so excited. I ran downstairs to see what was happening. There were hundreds of thousands of people on TV cheering, Palan, go. And I turned around and I saw my wife. She was cheering louder than the others, Palan, go. I know, it really got to me here. So I said to her, oh, darling, I have never seen you so excited. And she started crying and she said, you know, it's not every day that an Indian woman becomes vice president of America. Yeah, Kamala Harris, go Palan, Kamala Harris, go Palan. She said, then I started crying.
Oh,
Well, let's
Give him a round
end
of
on a happy
applause.
note.
Put some feedback
Did you
for him.
see the Chancellor Rishi Sunak lighting up those little candles in Downing Street? It was not to celebrate Diwali. It was to celebrate the disappearance of Dominic Cummings, True Diwali spirit. I've been Palan, and before MC says, go Palan, I'm going. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you. What I like about Parlin, if you look at the background, he's got beige walls and he's got a lamp that is camouflaged. You won't be able to see it because he's got a camouflage lamp, look. It's the same as the wall. Look, it's not even there. Can you not see it? Look really closely. I love it. Not accessorizing, matching, camouflage lamp from Parlin. I think I've got my running order slightly wrong, Shirley, and I think coming up next, have we got Anushka?
yeah. I was just about to say that. You remember what happened with Michael?
I know, I nearly did it again.
You nearly did it again.
The problem is, I'm so excited in here that I just. And I'm just rushing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce her now. I'm not going to give her the Michael thing that happened because that was awful. Please put your hands together, make some noise. Let's do some clapping, cheering, shouting. Do some clapping emojis on YouTube. Let's welcome Anushka Kaur. Come on, Anushka. Where are you?
So food is like a yo-yo. It goes up and down, up in your mouth and down in your ass. I put on weight everywhere except where needed, my boobs. Those stay tiny. When I say I put on weight everywhere, I mean my body. I have no control over where the fat goes. If I did, I would have an F cup. For now, I have the failing cup, A cup. People in the food industry should create chips that we could install in our bodies. It would beep when we reached our daily intake, okay? I'd rather have a chip on my shoulder than chocolate chips in my ass. Supermarkets are making my place in the dating market super low. I have a love and hate relationship with food. That's the only relationship I have right now, okay? When people ask if I'm single, I ask, define single. I'm in a couple with food. Actually, I'm in a throuple. My mind, my stomach, and my supermarket. Yep. I eat so many digestives, I have to drink digestive teas to minimize the damage. Yep. The owners of digestive should be sued for false marketing. It doesn't help you digest. That was me tonight, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anushka. If you're watching on the YouTube, on the World Wide Web, on the information superhighway, let her know what you think. Send her some thumbs up, give her some love, let her know she could be bothered to write some material and say it to you. You could be bothered to comment. It's time for the next act. Comedians, start the clapping, make some noise. Let's welcome to the screen. It's Mr. Stephen.
Oh, hello. Good to be here at the Cav, possibly for the last time this year. As somebody who's blind, I have to say, do you still need persuading that there are worse things than not seeing in 2020? Yes, rubbish joke, I know. But I also have OCD, and lockdown was hard, you know. I used to get up, wash my hands. Very dull days. And there's been protests, of course, Black Lives Matter and so on, and the controversy about the proms and Rule Britannia. And I think I had the solution, or this Tory chap, he gave a solution, because he said that early on in lockdown, he said he used to sing God Save the Queen when washing his hands. Mm-hmm. I don't think white men should sing God Save the Queen when washing their hands. I think they should sing Rule Britannia. And the reason for that is that after this nightmare's over, no one ever again is going to want to sing a song associated with handling their penis. Well, I'm Stephen, thank you.
Stephen, call up! Come on, give him a round of applause! If you're watching on the YouTube, don't forget to send him a message, send him some love, give him some thumbs up, do something like that. Shirley, before we go to the last act, would you like, can you pop yourself up on screen there, Shirley?
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
I just wanted to talk about what we read in the paper. So there was it was about the government briefings, wasn't it? There's all the stuff about the government briefings about COVID, and they've been criticised about how they portray the information about COVID. Yeah. There's been a lot of criticisms, and they put a report out, I think recently, about how they were going to improve it. Do you remember? And they put a headline out, and it literally said, in future government briefings, they're going to use more. Do you remember?
No. To be honest.
Basically, I remember. I know the script. I just try, I like to involve my wife and get her involved a bit, but she can't always be bothered. So basically,
I remember the conversation. I just don't remember what the actual wording was.
Shelley, if you remember, what it said was, future government briefings, they're going to use more slides.
Yes, slides.
And we quite like that idea. The idea of they're kind of like, more COVID infections, hospitalisation, back round again, more deaths, and that's what kept me and Shirley going through 4 days of lockdown this week, and the idea of government briefings having more slides. It is serious, though. It is serious. I'm going to try and weave this into a final joke to finish that off. It is serious, though, because, it's a real balance, this COVID thing, between public health and the economy. And I guess the government sees it as all swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
So Sakisa didn't laugh, so I don't think...
She's the only one that did.
Did she? I was just going to... It's a shame because I wasn't going to put her on because she wasn't laughing, but if she was, I suppose I should.
I was the only one that got the joke.
Did you? I can't... Because I'm so busy shouting, I can't hear the laughter. That's always been my problem. Too busy shouting. Thank you for laughing at my joke, Sakisa. I think it's quite a good one.
I like it.
You like it? All right, thanks. Would you like to pop on now and do some better ones for me? What we'll do is we'll clap for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please, whatever you're doing, stop it and clap and cheer and shout. Make as much noise as you can. Wake up in the house. Don't scare the cats. Please, welcome to the stage, the fabulous Nikita.
Hello. Firstly, we've got some tips. Maddie, there's always space for you to get lube. There's lube, you can use anything. You don't need to go and buy it. You can just look around your house. What can I use for lube? Tomato sauce? Maybe. I don't know. Milk, maybe. Milk. Cooking oil, It's 2020. Let's be adventurous. I'm just saying that. Let's put it out there. Lockdown is interesting. My second time in lockdown is very much interesting because I'm staying with this couple who I completely utterly hate because they're always just parenting me, which is obviously very interesting because they are my parents and they're my mum keeps telling me off because I keep doing jokes about my parents, and she's always like, you keep portraying me in a negative way, can you stop it? And I'm like, okay, you're right, actually, Mum, you need to change. So it's always interesting doing jokes about my parents, but I am also a lawyer. I'm an immigration lawyer and I love immigration in this country. I think immigrants make this country and I think it's very important that immigration should work in the UK. And I think that thinking about what's happening recently, especially today with the announcement about them talking about Brexit, which we all seem to have forgotten about. I think that if you want to come to the UK, I think the challenge that immigrants need to do is to challenge a British person for their citizenship by doing the Life in the UK test. I think that's what needs to happen. I feel like there needs to be some trades. We can trade some people out. I feel it'll be like a new game show. It'd be absolutely amazing. Just trade some people that we don't want in this country. Dominic.
Yes.
Paddy, look, just take them out. Russell Brand, take them out. Let's trade them. Okay? Let's trade them for some people that we actually want that will do some bloody work. Okay. But I think we're obviously getting better in terms of everything. Like I have no problem dating outside my race. My last boyfriend was white. He probably still is. And dating white guy, I've dated so many white guys now. I feel like my vagina is gentrified. Like I now feel that my vagina now prefers a Pret sandwich than a curry goat. So that's the level that we're on. But I'll end on by saying I think we are going in the right direction. I think everything's changing. But before lockdown had happened, I was doing one of my final gigs and this man came up to me and was like, "You're amazing comic. I think you're going to go far. You're absolutely really funny. But I think you may know my girlfriend. She's also black." And I was like, "Sorry, what?" I don't know all black people. I wish I did, but I don't, okay? I wish I knew Cardi B, but I don't, okay? I wish the Obamas would adopt me, but they can't, okay? I'm over the age of 60, okay? But I don't know all black people. There's like 8 million black people in the UK. I don't know if there is, but if there are, let me know. I feel like there's 8 million black people in the UK. I don't know them all, yeah? And I was just having this rant at this guy. I was really just upset with the fact that he was initiating that I would know all black people. And his girlfriend came over. Turns out I didn't know her.
Yeah.
We went to the same school, so yeah. That's been me. Thanks. I've been speaking.
Give her a round of applause. Let her know what you think. Send us some emojis. Let her know what you think. Me and Shirley, we live in Croydon, right? And somebody wrote on a wall in the centre of Croydon, they wrote in big letters, "Stop the gentrification." Like, have you seen the fucking place? I mean, there is no, Croydon went bust last week. There is no, if there is gentrification, it's me in this hat. That's it. They need.
He's frozen.
The comedy concentrate. Comedians,
Yeah,
give yourselves an applause. Let's
didn't
do
know that.
clap there. How you all doing, guys? You've all done fantastic. If you're watching anywhere, please donate some money. There's a little caption up there. If you're a performer, if you're a watcher, if you want to support brand new comedy or old comedians trying out new material, bung some money in our pot. Bung it in there. We can use that to keep our pub going, because at the moment we're not selling any pints or any pizzas. There's nothing going on there. So just pop some money in that jar as quick as you can. The quicker that jar fills up, the more we can stay open and the more comics we can put on. Come on, you can do it.
Gone again.
Entire country, or at least everybody that's watching on YouTube, has put some money in. I want to see it go up at least to £4 this time. It went to £5 in the last lockdown. Let's get it to £4.
Oh, you're waiting for me, aren't you? Oh, he's frozen.
Frozen again.
Uh-oh.
Charlie, you're gonna have to do the ending.
Let's just see if he just like pop. He doesn't know that he's frozen though. It could be quite funny. I can still hear him shouting from upstairs. I turned my mic up. We can pick him up from upstairs. Right. Okay. So I'm going to put the ending on, guys. So if we could just have a big round of applause for everyone that's performed, that'd be marvelous. Well done,
Ooh, wow.
I'll be off.
Right. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Except we're not live anymore.
Well done, everyone.
No, we're
Well
not.
done.